Hey, review family, keep it high, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morris, the review guy, and I'm back to bring you another video. And I try to remain composed, and I try to not be a hype beast, but throw that out the window. Bring Me the Horizon is back. So, on BBC Radio 1 today, they released a brand new track from an album that's pretty much confirmed. No release date yet or name of the album. But the track is Mantra or Mantra, depending on where you come from, because if you have an accent, you say it a different way. But Bring Me the Horizon comes back with a brand new single. I'm just going to be calling it Mantra. That's just how I say it. And wow, I got a lot to say about this. So, obviously, this album is going to be the follow-up to their 2015 release, That's the Spirit, which really diverged from a lot of their kind of metalcore type of roots and moved more towards an alternative metal and an alternative rock and new metal approach to their sound, whereas originally, with Sempiternal and previous albums, they had more metalcore, more post-hardcore, and if you go further back in their discography, some deathcore stuff like that. But now they're becoming a lot more accessible, they're becoming a lot more popular, and that reflected in That's the Spirit Sells, which went to number 2 on the Billboard 200. But let's talk about this track. So I was a bit weary going in because I was wondering if it was going to be a poppy song. I was actually maybe considering... I was thinking it was going to go more towards a Follow You or an Oh No type of feel from That's the Spirit if you've listened to those two songs, which I would have been fine with. But no, they really kept a lot of the heaviness, but not heaviness in terms of a metalcore, not fast riffing and breakdowns and stuff, but more so that alternative rock and alternative metal type of approach, and something that could be played on the radio, that I could 100% see being played on the radio. The heaviness and the overall sound that I can compare this song to would be equivalent to maybe something along the lines of Happy Song or, say, Blasphemy from That's the Spirit, which was not what I was expecting. Like I said, I was expecting something that would sound similar to either Oh No or Follow You, but that really was not what they were going for with this. But even though stylistically and the heaviness wise it does sound a lot like those two tracks from That's the Spirit, the Blasphemy and Happy Song, with maybe a little bit of True Friends, it's definitely a brand new song. The production value has definitely been upped. It's obviously going to be Bring Me the Horizon's most commercial in terms of mixing-wise release when it does get released, because the drums sound really pronounced and pummeling, the guitars sound amazing. Ollie's vocals are some of the best they've been in a while. And while sometimes in the chorus I can feel like he can fall a bit flat at times, not in terms of his singing, but just the chorus feeling maybe a little bit uneventful and something we've heard before, it still makes up for it because Ollie sounds great. He sounds a lot like he did on That's the Spirit, and I was genuinely taken by surprise when I heard this almost arena rock, hard rock feel that reminded me of those heavier tracks from, because if you didn't know, all of the tracks that I just mentioned that I can compare it to are the heavier tracks on That's the Spirit. And I'm probably going to be releasing an audio thing for Ollie talking about the song on BBC Radio 1 for those of you that didn't get to tune in to hear him speak about it. But he was basically saying that he wanted to make their sound more accessible, but he still wanted to remain their core sound. And unlike all of their previous albums, this kind of takes into account all of their previous albums in some form or another, which I think is interesting. That definitely makes me excited for the album. Now, does that mean we're going to get metalcore, deathcore songs? I don't think so. I think it's, if we got this type of heaviness for every track, it could technically be heavier than That's the Spirit. And that's something I wouldn't think I'd say, because he was talking about how they were wanting to be more accessible and go in a more 21 Pilots direction. And when you cite 21 Pilots, you don't really expect to hear Mantra, what they literally just released. And you can go listen to it. It's out. You can go to their site. I think they're going to release more information about maybe an album or something soon. We have the new logo out. Ollie looks a lot different. He reminds me a lot of Chester Bennington, the way he looks, and obviously his sound has been compared to Chester, especially recently with That's the Spirit in this single, or at least in my mind. Wow. The lyrics are, from what I could hear, the lyrics seems kind of like about like believing in something and trying to lead yourself down the right path, but people trying to like force you to buy into things, forcing you to try to believe things or see things their way, when in reality they're trying to like change you. I mean, that's what I got from the track, which it could be definitely different, but yeah. So I want to hear what you guys think of this. I don't want to ramble on too long. It's a really hype track, and I'll probably do quite a few topics throughout like the coming days about Bring Me the Horizon and what I think they're going to be doing going forward. But I want to hear what you guys think. So post in the comments below, like, comment, subscribe. This has been like my first viewing reaction or review, and when I say first viewing, I wanted to react to it live, but I didn't want to risk getting the copyright strike because obviously Bring Me the Horizons with Sony, and that would be treading in some like very, very, very eggshell type water if I was to try to put the audio up with my reaction. So I just decided to do this, and yeah, talk to you guys next time. But until then, my name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.
Oh no, what your mama gonna say when I tell her that I broke no heart? It's just things not the way that they used to be. Oh no, now you crying on the bathroom floor and I guess it's the end. Well, I lost my mind and I lost my best friend.